Hi, I'm Beth from Father Hudson's Care. Today I'm going to be talking about long COVID, otherwise known as post-COVID syndrome. This project is in partnership with the NHS Birmingham Community Healthcare and BVSC. So what is long COVID? Symptoms develop during or following an infection which continue for more than 12 weeks and are not explained by something else. Sufferers usually find they have several symptoms, which all combine and may change over time. It can affect any part of the body, both physically and mentally. And whilst most people who develop COVID-19 fully recover, it is estimated that 10 to 20% go on to develop what is known as long COVID. It's estimated that 2 million people could have long COVID, and people who suffer from long COVID may have simply had a mild COVID-19 infection with little or no symptoms, could be young or old, and had no other health issues before. Long COVID can affect anyone at any time after their infection. So here we'll talk about some of the most common long COVID symptoms. So everyone is different and what we all feel will be different from person to person. But some of the most common are extreme tiredness, also known as fatigue, shortness of breath, heart palpitations, pins and needles, depression and anxiety, chest pain or tightness, constant headaches, difficulty sleeping, dizziness, or problems with your memory and concentration.
So this morning, it's been quite a tough one. I've woke up with chest pains. I've got a headache as well.
Some days Jade can't even get out of bed. Today she's been able to, but she's had to drive to a park that used to take minutes to walk to.
How are you feeling today?
A bit tired.
Bit tired.
Jade is 32 and was previously very active.
What I'm usually used to doing in this park is going for bike rides, going for walks, and I miss doing all of that.
You tell me if I'm going, too fast. And your pace is all right with you.
She first fell ill in March.
I just felt horrendous. I couldn't physically get my head up off the pillow, and then the coughing started, and the week I just deteriorated throughout the week. So the chest pain started. I found myself gasping for air during the nights. I was really scared.
A few weeks later, she seemed to recover and was back working full time, but then everything changed.
I remember calling my manager and just saying, I'm really sorry, but I'm not going to be able to come in. I can't get out of bed this morning. And then it just deteriorated and it just went downhill from then. The fatigue was really extreme again. All my chest pains started to come back and I just felt so unwell. I just felt so unwell, and I've never felt right again since. And I just want people to know that, just because it might seem like I'm having a good day, people don't know what I've gone through to get to that day. I have to really plan everything that I do. So if I do need to go shopping, then I will probably have to rest the whole day before to be able to get up to go to shopping.
She's been able to work from home, but daily life can feel impossible.
It's been hell, if I'm honest. It's been tough. I think it's been quite lonely, if I'm honest. It's been quite lonely going through it.
Very little is known about the condition. She's having occupational therapy, but has no idea when she'll feel better.
I'm grateful that I'm alive and I'm still here. I don't feel like myself anymore, and I want myself back. I want Jade back.
So some of you may have been watching Jade's story and thought it was familiar to your own. So let's look at each symptom in turn. What is fatigue? You are usually tired, lack motivation or energy to do even the simple tasks. Shortness of breath. If you have a feeling of tightness in your chest or you struggle to breathe. Heart palpitations. Your heartbeat can be very fast or feel as if it is pounding. Chest pain. It can be a sharp or dull pain or a tightness or achiness that can last for a period of time. What is pins and needles? a feeling of tingling or numbing feelings in the arms, legs, hands, or feet, which can last for a short or long time. What is dizziness? You feel like you are about to faint, weak or unsteady, or the room is spinning. Depression and anxiety. You feel sad, hopeless, or really nervous, worrying all the time. Difficulty sleeping. You struggle to get to sleep, waking up a lot and then feeling tired all day as if you haven't had a good night's sleep. Brain fog. You are more forgetful or confused, and you struggle to focus even on simple conversations with family or friends. Constant headaches. You have a pain in your head that lasts for a long time. Long COVID can make old issues worse or even bring about new ones. So there is support to get you better. There is no magic that will cure long COVID. It can last for a long time before you feel like things are getting better. For any recovery, your actions with our support is key to returning to a better state of health. The Birmingham Solihull service started in January 2021 and was one of 50 services across England. They support patients aged 16 years onwards. Birmingham women and children see patients below 16 years old. They work together with the university hospitals to help patients across Birmingham and Solihull. The service provides patients with a physical, cognitive and psychological assessment. They support referrals to other health services to help with your long COVID symptoms, and they provide treatment and other support. A GP needs to assess you and refer you to the service. On the following video, there will be a clip on John's story with long COVID services.
November 2021. Like a little bit out of breath. I know it sounds silly, but it just means because it's like physical activity. I feel like my lungs are still trying to catch up. And ever since COVID as well, I have put on more weight because obviously I'm not as active anymore, and it feels like I have to depend on my partner a bit more. And obviously I kind of keep doing that. Coughing, sneezing, shortness of breath, fatigue. Honestly, when I've read things online and I've seen people having COVID for like since it started, that really worried us, because I don't want to be ill like this for long. My doctor said, have you heard about the long COVID team?
John Wiley.
Hello.
Come through, sir. Have yourself a seat.
Thank you.
Are there any particular worries you've got about this whole situation? You know, is anything
That I don't think I'm ever going to get better.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Go, hard as you can, keep going, keep going.
Going to take blood from you, is that okay?
So what we know is that COVID doesn't just affect people physically, it also affects people psychologically. Okay, I'm just looking at your scores here on low mood, and what you're indicating is that you're not sleeping very well.
No, because sometimes I think, like, when I do fall asleep straight away sometimes, but sometimes I just feel like, oh, why am I always so ill? Like, I'll think to myself, I know it might not be COVID related, but I sometimes get up when I'm awake and I'm thinking about it. I think, have I left the door open? It's like a...
It sounds like you've developed lots of anxiety, and the anxiety is trying to find its home, so it's looking for anything possible to worry about.
I think COVID's opened the door.
Physio, occupational therapy. And what do you want to get back to doing? What are your goals? What do you want to get out of being here?
I just want to get fitter.
And that's shortness of breath that's limiting you. Do you know if you've put any weight on since having COVID?
For about 3 or 4 stone.
If there are physical problems in the body, whether it be scars or whether it be inflammation or anything not right, I'll tell you, the tests we do today will find it, and I'll tell you about it, and we'll get on with it.
It's been awesome. I've got many answers, and now I'm getting referred to the right people. I come in clean. It's like I'm actually looking a bit forward to the future.
So 90% of patients who used the service rated it as very good or good. So here is some of the feedback that was gathered from Birmingham and Solihull service. Treated with dignity and respect. Helping to coordinate all health issues due to long COVID, and support was offered. I found it easier than having to get to an appointment and travel there with the extra fatigue that would have caused. Felt more relaxed talking in my own home. Also, the time to travel to an appointment face to face would have taken more out of my day, so this was far more convenient. My worries were listened to and taken seriously. The information received and services offered were brilliant. Health inequalities and long COVID. So COVID-19 impacted people from all different backgrounds and was found to impact more people from certain ethnic groups and those who reside in the highest deprived areas. By raising awareness of long COVID and the symptoms, we hope to help more people get the help they need. So who is currently accessing the service? Mainly females. Of the ages of 25 to 64 years old, and mainly people from the white ethnicity group. This doesn't reflect the population of Birmingham and Solihull. Lots of people are struggling alone, and there is help available. So what help is available to you? Depending on your symptoms and how bad they are impacting you, there is a lot you can do yourself. The key is trying these steps early so that the symptoms don't get worse. The I Think I Have Long COVID, your COVID recovery website, has lots of information. You can access this website via the QR code below. If you click onto the website, there are different sections, such as effects on your body and your road to recovery. So self-management. The key to trying any of the self-help is the 3 Ps. The first one is pace. Take regular breaks and break things down into smaller tasks. Don't do things to the point of being exhausted. The second P, plan. Spread activities out. Plan for regular breaks. Plan for times when you know you have more energy. The third P, prioritize. Think about what is most important that needs to be done. Ask others to help with tasks. So if you are still struggling, go to your GP. The symptoms of long COVID are similar to symptoms of other conditions, and it's important that GPs see you first to make sure you access the right NHS service. When you go to the GP, they will examine you and may ask you to complete some tests or take blood to get a better idea of what is going on. If they think you have long COVID, they will refer you to the Birmingham and Solihull post-COVID syndrome service to support your recovery. The service can only accept a GP referral. So when you are referred to the service, you will get a phone call to discuss your symptoms and ask how these symptoms have impacted you. You will then have a more in-depth chat with one of the specialist clinicians. This will be either a nurse, physiotherapist, or occupational therapist about your symptoms. You can do this either by telephone, video, or in person. At your appointment, they will look to understand in more detail the impact long COVID has had to your life and start to work up a plan to support your long recovery. When you are referred to the service, your long COVID clinician will work with their GPs, dietitian, speech and language, specialist physiotherapist, and occupational therapist to develop a plan to support your recovery. Your plan may include on-ward referrals to other specialist services to help with specific symptoms. You may get some advice or exercises you can do at home, and we may ask your GP to help further. You will then be reviewed on a 4 to 6 week basis by your long COVID clinician to monitor your recovery progress until you are well enough to be discharged. 90% of patients rate their experience with the service as very good or good.
August 2022. I've been a lot better now, but I wouldn't say I'm 100% better, but I feel like I can do a whole lot more now. Physically I feel great, and mentally I think it's just helped us tenfold. Like how to deal with the anxiety side of things of having long COVID and getting scared in case I get it again and stuff like that. I've just dealt with the little mechanisms to cope with it and stuff. And I'm sleeping a whole lot better, and when I used to wake up, I used to really feel like drained before I even done anything. It feels good. Because now on a Thursday, because it's like everyone's day off, we'll have like a group of work, like 4, and we'll go, what we call it, Adventure Club, and we'll go for walks in random places. We'll just go on Google, type in, and we'll just go there and we'll walk. Just because I've never been able to do it for a while, because I would get out of breath. And the first time I went to Birmingham Lake, I only got halfway around, and then I had to turn back and like go back to the car, because I don't think I would have made it round. But then when I went back, I made the point of going round 2 times. I don't think there would be an adventure club if it wasn't for getting help off the long COVID team and giving us that push to and the help to get better.
John Miley.
Oh, hello.
Hi John, nice to see you again.
You too.
Yeah, come through.
Cool.
Come and have a seat. All right. Well, brilliant to see you. It's crikey, it's about 9 months or so thereabouts since I saw you last. And there was lots of bits and pieces that we talked about when you were here last time, but I'm going to hopefully do less talking this time. I just want to hear from you.
I feel like I wake up with a spring in my step instead of like having to lie there for 5 minutes waiting for me batteries to charge up before I get out of bed. We'll start this, what we call Adventure Club, on a Thursday.
All right, and what's that?
Like, we'll go walking, we'll just go onto Google, find the most random places. Like, I've been to Birmingham Lake, Barbara Castle. We're going to Walkwath Castle on Thursday this week, and we'll just walk until we kind of, it's like before I had COVID, because I used to love going out walking and stuff. I used to go to the lakes walking a bit as well, but now me partner's brother, he does all that stuff, so I'm going to have to go with him.
That sounds brilliant.
Try. I think I'm ready for the next step.
I'm seeing a new man here, you know, totally different man to what I saw back in December, and it's brilliant. What bits do you think, the advice or the bits that we did for you, you know, could you pick out and say, well, that helped, or that wasn't much use?
All the information that I did 9 months ago was helpful, but the bit that stuck out for me the most was the psychology bit.
I'll get you to see everybody else today.
Step on there for me.
Push it out fast and keep going, keep pushing. A little bit longer for me.
That's it, we're off.
Whee.
Can you press right in the middle, but don't bend your arm. I don't want you to bend your arm so you don't get a bruise. And I'm going to pop that in there.
Have a seat. I'm Georgia, one of the physios. Nice to meet you. From a physio point of view, you saw the OTs and you saw the dietitians. And how was the fatigue management service?
This is Kerry, our psychologist, just for an update.
So how have things been for you recently? And how's the anxiety kind of on the whole? So do you still get any kind of anxiety, kind of panicky symptoms like racing heart?
Well, the main reason for calling you back in really was just to show you your breathing tests and your weight. Now, you were a bit underwhelmed by how well you'd done, I think because you were comparing yourself to your partner who'd lost 6 stone. You've lost 2 stone, that's fantastic.
What?
Yeah, you've lost slightly more than 2 stone you've lost. Now those scales of ours are accurate, I can tell you. And we measured you last time, we've measured this time.
Oh, that's
You've
good.
lost more than 2 stone.
That's good.
Fantastic.
I'm so happy about that then.
Yeah, yes sir. And, here's the next bit, because you've taken some of that weight off your tummy, now your lungs have literally more room to breathe. And I can even see that on the breathing test. Your lungs now have increased their capacity because they've got more space. They've gone up by about ½ a litre, and that's a big jump for your lungs. So that's brilliant.
I'm happy about that.
So that's good news.
Sorry, I'm going to have to smile all day.
Give yourself a pat on the back, because you've done it. You're the fella that's done it here. You know, you've got out and exercised. I didn't walk around Birmingham Lake. You walked around Birmingham Lake. I didn't lose the weight. You've lost the weight. You know, you've dealt with the kind of the worries and the anxieties, and you've faced that and you've done it. So you're the fella that deserves the pat on the back here.
Like, I don't think without coming here, I wouldn't have been able to walk around that lake like what we did though. Yeah, just the other day. I don't think I would have done it, but now, having the help from the team, I think I could probably run around there now. I feel like I could, but I don't know if I would. I'm probably not going to get any work done, I'll be telling everyone. Mega happy. Like, I'm not going to lie, yeah. Like, I'm probably going to cry later. It's the news I wanted and so much more. I thought I'd lost a little bit, but I didn't quite think it was 2 stone. Like, I thought like a couple of pounds or something, but coming in with a couple of stones, quite a shock, and I'm quite happy about it. I'm just happy to see what the future can bring us with all my knowledge from the clinic, like, and pass it on to other people too so they can get help as well.
There are plenty of local support groups which may help. Please access this via the QR code below. Please remember the service can only accept referrals from GPs, but here are the contact details if you want to be involved in developing the service. Thank you for your engagement in our long COVID presentation. We hope you have found it helpful. Your feedback is very important to us, so please, if you can spare a few moments, there is a link and a QR code which will take you to our feedback form. Thank you.